and Dwayne Wade right at the body of Anderson Varejao. Welcome to your Kodak moment, Anderson Varejao. Curry way downtown. Bang! Bang! Oh, what a shot from Curry!
All right, well, welcome back to the BSPN radio show, the first one of the year.
Yes, welcome.
We're glad to be back. I'm here with Max, who decided, I can't top Antonio Brown with the drama, so I'm going to top him with the hairstyle.
Yep. Pink.
Yeah, bright pink.
That's right, baby. Pink hair up top.
Yeah. You want to start with Antonio Brown? Because this summer has been fucking insane with football and with basketball.
Yeah, let's fucking start with Antonio.
Antonio Brown is a piece of shit.
Yep.
That's the whole story.
Yep.
Man's fucking... All right, I understand if you're not happy with the Steelers, ask to get traded. Receivers do it all the time. Players do it all the time. Whatever. You go to the Raiders. You have a chance to save your image, a chance to be to continue being a great receiver, to continue being a Hall of Famer.
And to be the face of a franchise.
And to make $17 million a year. I mean, that's already enough for me. I mean, you give me $1 million a year, I'll get clocked by any fucking player on the team, just get knocked out, constant concussions. You pay me $1 million, whatever.
Exactly.
But then he freezes off the bottom of his feet, gets in constant arguments with his team.
And the stupid helmet,
the helmet dispute was the funniest thing of the whole summer.
He was literally acting like a little kid.
Yeah.
He was like, I am not gonna play unless you give me my helmet back.
Yeah.
Like how much of a diva can you be?
Also, did you see the side by side between his two helmets? The one that was approved and not, they're like exactly the same.
Really?
The only thing that's different is the grill in front. It's stupid.
Yeah.
And then, gets released by the Raiders.
After what, 3 weeks?
Yeah, the off season.
Yeah.
Which he didn't even play in.
No, he didn't.
So that looked bad. Then he goes to the Patriots, just like everyone would thought. The Patriots were so done with his shit that after one game where he looked great. I mean, I understand it's against the Dolphins, but he looked great.
It was like the Antonio Brown of old. And
yeah.
People were really like, oh, fuck the Patriots.
And then you have Josh Gordon as your wide receiver too. You have just a great fucking team there. And then they're just like, you know what? I'm done. There was the double rape allegation, which we still don't have any more evidence on.
No,
but he how much of an idiot can you be to threaten someone, like, even if it's not true?
Yeah, and the fact that he did threaten someone
makes it look more sus.
Yeah.
And the part that annoys me the most, I have so much respect for, activists in the world of sports, players that put their career on hold to get better rights for the players or for the people outside of it. Jesse Owens, Oscar Robertson.
LeBron James.
Exactly. Antonio Brown is now acting like he's an activist by refusing to play in the NFL when he's just an idiot and he's bringing disrespect to all those players that came before him.
Well, okay, so this is my take. The NFL, just as a company...
Yeah. It's not great for players.
It's one of the most corrupt, upside down run, like
prohibitive.
Yeah, like Roger Goodell
is a piece of shit.
Yeah,
no one likes Roger Goodell outside of the owners.
Exactly,
because the owners don't get any type of repercussions for shit they do.
Exactly, and it's like a trickle down effect because look at the NBA.
Yeah.
You have at the helm you have Adam
Silver is a legend.
Exactly, Adam Silver, who is doing. Who is making amazing strides both for the game of basketball, for the NBA, and for like the community.
Exactly, and the players just as a whole.
Yeah, and that trickles down to the coaches and to the owners.
Exactly,
who will do the same thing, which trickles down to the coaches, which trickles down to the players, which trickles down to the fans.
With the Donald Sterling thing, the way it was handled, okay, this is never happening again in our game. Absolutely not. Players were willing to sit out playoff games because it was so horrible. In the NFL, if that happened, it'd be like, oh, so it came out to public?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
OJ Mayo.
Yeah.
Smoked weed and has not played another NBA game.
Yeah. Josh Gordon?
No. On the Chiefs, who's now on the Browns.
Oh, Kareem Hunt.
Kareem Hunt beat someone.
He beat the shit out of like this random woman and then fucking...
And now he's on an NFL roster.
And Tyreek Hill fucking broke his son's arm and he got no suspension time.
Like, what?
Exactly. And then Josh Gordon got banned for 3 years for smoking weed.
Exactly.
It's stupid.
And we can go back to the Deflategate stuff.
We can
go back to we can look back at the Ray Rice stuff.
Yeah, it's not great. They don't know, the NFL somehow doesn't know how to handle PR despite being one of, the top 5 largest sports leagues in the world.
Exactly. And that's why so many, and the Colin Kaepernick stuff.
Yeah.
Talk about an activist. Colin Kaepernick actually put his career on hold.
Not only on hold, he ended his own career by doing that.
Right.
And stood by it, which is still super respectable.
I still think we should free Cap. I think he should be on an NFL roster.
Look, this is the year of the backup quarterback.
That's true.
On that topic, I'm loving the NFL this year.
Yeah?
Like, in terms of games, it's fun to watch. The only game I've watched that was not fun was fucking Patriots-Dolphins because I was like, I got to watch the first Antonio Brown game.
Right.
And that was just vicious.
The first game last. Do you think, just quickly, do you think Antonio Brown finds himself on a roster?
In the XFL, maybe.
Do you think he finds himself on an NFL roster again?
I think there's no way the NFL brings him back. The only way the NFL brings him back is if, he goes on this tour going around the country where he's just goes on, into interviews on ESPN the way Melo did.
But the thing is, Melo wasn't being... I mean, Melo was...
Okay, but Melo... Here's the thing.
Love Melo.
Melo isn't talented enough to be in the NBA right now, in my opinion. He just wasn't good for the Rockets. He was real bad for the Rockets. Even then, before that, he was real bad for the Thunder.
Well, no,
and at that point,
he was beautiful for the Knicks. The time he spent in New York was his...
No, it was his prime, and then his prime seemed longer than it was because he just got so many touches. So I'd say 2017, 2018, and 2018. Well, yeah, 2017, 2018, both years, just he wasn't very good anymore, and he just got a lot of touches. And I mean, sure, he looked good during those touches, but you got to understand, he was still the first or second option on a team where he had no business being there.
Well, then he went to the Rockets where he was completely
horrible.
Well, because his game plan he had to completely change his shit. He was coming off the bench.
Yeah, but he also was unwilling to change.
Right, and that's why he was back.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's a system player, his own system.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're LeBron, you can do that because, you're LeBron and you're arguably the best player in the world. I don't think he is anymore, but, arguably he's absolutely top 5. Mm-hmm. And you can do that because it also gets everyone on the floor involved.
Yeah.
But even Lou Will, who's score first off the bench, 6th man, right? Mm-hmm. He's all about getting buckets. Yeah. And he does that. Except somehow he can also get others involved. And somehow he has no ego about him.
Yeah.
He's been a 6th man his whole career. So he's fine with it.
Wasn't he leading his team in points? Wasn't he leading the Clippers in points?
Yeah, last year.
Yeah, as a 6th man.
Well, actually, wasn't it Gallo? It might have been Gallo.
If he wasn't first, he was second.
Yeah.
And he's a 6th man.
Yeah, exactly. He's insane.
Yeah.
And then you look at Melo, who's just kind of doesn't really keep up with that. He scored under 10 points in, I think he played, 20 games for the Rockets, or either 20 or 12, something like that. And he scored under 10 in, I think it was 3/4 of them, and scored 20 in 3 of them. And people were like, no, look, he still got it. His plus minus was constantly horrible. Mm-hmm. His win share is constantly horrible. His defense constantly horrible. And at that point, he's just not talented to be in the game.
Right.
So that's why he's the opposite of Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown has all the talent in the world, can still perform, but he has too much of an ego still, and thinks it's all about him.
I don't see Antonio Brown getting I don't see a team being oh yeah, sure, we'll pick up Antonio Brown.
If anything, it'll be like the fucking Bengals.
But even then, it's I don't think Antonio Brown deserves a farewell tour.
Oh, absolutely not.
And I think every NFL team sees that.
Do you still think he's a Hall of Famer? Because if you were asked that maybe a year and a half ago, everyone would have been like, yeah, Antonio Brown is a Hall of Famer.
I don't know. I'm getting a lot of...
he feels like T.O. He feels exactly like T.O.
Ocho Cinco.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're the same archetype. It's just the diva receiver.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, oh, Odell, biggest diva.
No.
Whatever. No.
No.
We just didn't see it because, so much of his shit was just being like, okay, I'm Mike Tomlin. I'll let you do that.
Yeah.
And then he goes to the Raiders, gone within a month.
Patriots gone within a day.
Yeah.
Or 2 days or whatever it was.
I mean, it's certainly not a good look for Antonio Brown.
Have we talked about the NBA offseason on this show?
No, we can. Let me say one last thing